Good morning, good morning, good morning. Um, it's me, Dahlia Jackie Holt Glass, Mama, Navy vet, certified doer, and the late stuff legislator for the House of Delegates, 93rd District. So grateful, honored to be here, grateful to serve, and all the stuff and things. And I know this is kind of weird because it is actually 7:27 your time, but I am on Central Time. I'm on Central Time, and it has been 2 weeks, and I realized, oh my gosh, it's morning dew time, and I'm missing it because I missed 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I actually woke up with a pretty significant migraine. Some of you guys know I suffer from complex migraines, so it's a thing. It's a thing. And then last week, I did choose to take the holiday and spend it with my people. Spend it with my people and not be working because that is also a thing. But there's so much to come. So let me explain like what the heck I'm actually doing in out of town this what is it this week this okay so last session last legislative session, I did a lot of work on these things called compacts. And I don't know if anybody has ever heard of them. It's a thing, I assure you. Let me see. So compacts are let me start there. There's this group that I'm part of that focuses on how we can make Virginia a better place for military families and things like that. And so last year they came up with this whole strategic plan. And I believe a lot of times when we do something to help one underserved group, it helps many. And part of what I was able to do was put in legislation this past 2023 or 2024 that had to do with compacts. And compacts are really interesting because they're these agreements between states that helps them collaborate on a specific policy or issue for whatever it is. And so um, what they do is they create these legally binding agreements between states where they have to talk. So I brought forth a massage therapy compact, a teacher compact, a social work compact, a massage therapy, teach work, social work. I'm trying to think of what other. I know I did five of them, like five of these compacts, where it's an agreement where Virginia. Good morning, Mr. Little. Where Virginia has agreed with other states that cosmetology compact has agreed with these other states that if someone gets their license in another state, then they can come to Virginia and immediately get to work, right? So I don't know if you ever had, or a barber, right? So like consider a barber that moves around. When they come to Virginia, they would have to go through the whole licensing process before they could even get started again. Now, for some people, that might be a little bit scary, but what the compact does is it's like, all right, you can come to Virginia, you can get to work, but you have to, when you renew your license, you have to be up to the standards of whatever Virginia's standard is, which is really cool. So this year I'm bringing back the teacher compact because I know there's a huge need for teachers. It doesn't change the licensing process in Virginia. It's just saying that we've agreed with these states that somebody can come here and get straight to work. Now, the thing about the compacts are that I'm trying to think. I'm really trying to think of that other compact that I did because I can't even remember. Uh, yeah, well, the thing about the compacts is, like I said, it's just helping people come here. And when you think about how specifically where we're at in Hampton Roads, it's super transient. Like it's a lot of people going in and out, like military folks. And that's where this came from, military folks. And otherwise, it's important that when they come here, then they can get, not have to wait to get their license. So it's been truly helpful. The cool thing about a compact is if you're one of the first 7 states, to join a compact, then you get to be at the table You get to be at the table to determine what the rules, or not even first seven. It takes 7 states to enact a compact, right? So 7 states have to agree, yes, we want to make this agreement with each other on this license, on this thing. And then after those 7 states agree, what happens is they come to the table and then uh, they determine the rules of the compact, right? I'm saying this for a reason as to why I'm not um, um, why I'm not in Virginia, why I'm an hour behind. So again, it's like it is a widely recognized durable policy solution, and there are over 250 compacts in the U.S. Um, and on average, states are members of about 25. So we have a nursing compact too, where nurses can go from state to state, like they can come here. So if a nurse is a traveling nurse and they are licensed somewhere else, if they're a part of the compact, then if they've got a compact license, then they can come here and get to work. And then if they stay, again, when they renew, they have to renew by a certain timeline that is set forth. Really cool. Hey, good morning, Ebony. Congratulations. Good morning, Lamont. So that's the thing, right? So I'm in New Orleans right now at a conference for the Council of State Governments, CSG. I'm trying to get that right. Because I did all of those compacts, right, last year, the trying to make it so that people can come here, and if they're qualified to do a job, they can do it, but they, at some point they have to get up to snuff on Virginia standards. I'm here because the Council of State Governments, I have to keep saying that, asked me to come speak on a panel about the process of carrying those compacts, um, um, carrying those compacts last year, which is really important. And I don't know if y'all know anybody that has a licensed job. If you've got a cosmetologist, we're working. So let me just say this: cosmetology that passed last session, but it is, I think, now being enacted. So Virginia is at the table. I just got an update from the people at the state level, because it's state level employees that sit on there. We have things called DPOR, Department of Occupational the Department of Professional and Occupational Regulations. So all those jobs, whether it's like everything from medicine to architecture to lawyers to cosmetologists, massage therapists, all those people that create the regulations there, they get to have folks that sit on that board, and they're all together right now for they are right now meeting for the cosmetology compact, and they just updated me and said it's going really, really well, and they're glad that they're at the table. Because y'all, I don't know if you know, like, again, if you know somebody that has a license in Virginia, you give me a thumbs up. Like that has some sort of license, um, profession, then give me a thumbs up, so I know that, like, we have to start looking at more and more compacts. I'm hoping that we do. Like I said, this year I'm doing the teacher compact, and we've kind of gotten in a little bit of a fight because, not fight, let me say not a fight. We know we're going to have some struggles because people don't want unqualified teachers, but coming here. But right now I know that, my school in Norfolk Public Schools, they've even did a call for 18-year-olds to come and teach, right? Like so the compact is separate from the license. So you can become a member of the compact and get to work, but at some point you have to, if you decide to stay in that respective state and work, you've got to get that license. So that same thing works for teachers. Under the current teacher compact, if we join it, we would join it with several other states, and a teacher would have, I believe, they would have 5 years to get re-qualified or renewed under Virginia law, under Virginia regulations, if they decide to stay in Virginia. So it's a big deal. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to talk about that process, how I did it, what were my pros and cons, and all that good stuff. On another note, how y'all doing in Hampton Roads? How's the weather? Because it's cold here. I'm wondering how y'all doing. And if you have anything on your mind or any questions, any comments, anything you got going on, drop it in the chat so I can answer the question and do all the things. I have been, let me see. Yeah, if you got questions, you got comments, anything you're inquiring about, let me know. I'll be leaving for legislative session the first week of January, y'all. So this is a short session as a reminder. So I'll be back up in Richmond. Yes, Fridays is coming back for people who are asking. We will continue the legacy of Fridays. Um, but I'll be in Richmond the first week of this January, and we will be done by February 23rd. It's important to know, right, that when we look at what's happening at the federal level, there is the last time we have this our incoming president as the executive of the United States, there was a push. People were really pushing for states' rights, right? Like, and if you know, that's for some people, that's a dog whistle, right? You hear it, and you like states' rights. Y'all already know where we hear this at, right? Back when folks was like, I want to enslave people. I don't want to enslave people, but and we saw that play out. This whole states' right thing, we saw that play out uh, with with reproductive rights, right? Like each state was so different in how they did what they did. Each state was passing very different because the federal precedent had gone away. I say this to you all because we're getting ready to walk into 2025 into session, and as a middle child, I've always understood as an actual real life professional middle child, no, a actual middle child in life, and also now a professional middle child. I recognize sometimes no one really pays attention to the middle child until they're absolutely needed. And that's what I feel like state government is. It's the middle child of government. And it's going to be so important next year that you all are engaged because we are walking towards leadership at the federal level that wants to push things back down to the state, which means the work that we do and that we are going to continue to do at the state level is going to be super important that y'all pay attention to. There is a reason that we don't look like Florida. And I don't mean that as any shade, but I just know people are like, damn, what's going on in Florida? And then Charlamagne and God always say the craziest people come from Florida, all of Florida, right? Like, or that we don't. There's a reason that Virginia operates the way that it does. Virginia is a very purple place, right? Our House of Delegates is a 51-49 split between D's and R's. Our Senate is a 21-19 split between D's and R's. We are a very purple place. Um, Happy to be in a purple place because good things happen. But the executive level matters. So in 2025, remembering y'all that on our ballots in 2025 will be the governor, right? So now we're back to we're going to get not only are we going to get a new president, right? So that's a federal level. Remember I said that, and the way that we've seen them operate is that things are going to get pushed back down to the state. I need y'all to be telling y'all people that like things are going to start getting pushed back down to the state. Our state government is super important. Here's why. So on the ballot, we'll have our governor, we'll have our lieutenant governor, we will have our attorney general, we will have the entire House of Delegates. So that's 100 people. So half of the legislature, the entire executive branch of Virginia government. And that makes a lot of that, that means so much. Um, if you compare it to what you saw at the national level, it's like, all right, we're choosing the president of Virginia, essentially, right? Because if they keep pushing stuff down to the states, and the president, the vice president, and the attorney for Virginia, and then half of the lawmaking body, okay? Super important. So as we go into session, I'm going to try to do a good job of making sure you guys are informed as we transition leadership at the federal level and we start selecting our leadership at the state level. I want to make sure that y'all are in the know. Y'all, okay, pausing for a second because I want to shout out somebody very important. My barber just joined. I want to say this to my barber girl. We were just talking about compacts and licensing and stuff. So barbers, remember I said talked about the cosmetology compact, right? Barbers are a part of that. And I just want to shout her out. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to call you because I got taken out of town and I'm gonna miss my appointment on Friday. but I'm still gonna text you, okay? I'm still gonna text you. I was on the plane and realized it. But yes. So anyway, back to where we're at. So this is why I said it's gonna be super important for us to be able to articulate to it, everybody don't know me. I don't know everybody. Everybody don't know you. You don't know everybody. So we are not in the business of changing the world. We're in the business of changing our corner of the world. And that's my ask of you all. And I'm saying it again. If you got questions, comments, put them in the chat so that I can acknowledge that. But I'm saying that because I don't want any one of us, like I don't want doers like you going out into the world thinking that you have to take on the biggest of all the things. That is not the case. We're biting off what we can chew in our corner of the world. And I am also going to underscore, right? Underscore the importance of local governance in our office. I want to do the percentage. I'm going to take a look, but at least 60% of the concerns that come to my office end up being something that I have to push down to the city council or the school board. I'm just being real with you. Like that's like, you know what? I would love to be able to help you, but I'm gonna have to put you in contact with your school board member. I would love to be able to help you. But I'm gonna have to put you in contact with your person, right? And that's for as a person who just wants to do and fix, that is how I make sure that I do the job of the delegate really well. Now, do I have to step in sometimes and be like, yo, y'all, this is our constituent, this is our person. Can you, or it just sometimes they're not even in my district, like this is our person, can you support them? I'm saying that because as I talk about state and federal government, what I think is super important to understand is that yes, at the local level, so that's where you feel the pain. That's where, you know what I mean? When you've got, I'll put it like this: when you've got a solid state government that's not pushing no bullshit, excuse me, when you've got a solid state government that's not pushing no mess down to you at the local level, ultimately your mayor and your council and your school systems is determined by who those local folks are. And so if you're not pleased with the way that your city is run or the way your school system run, that comes down to your daily quality of life. And we are certainly in the business of quality of life, safety, and access. So you, just like me, are going to, as we decide 2025 what our state government is going to look like. If you're in Norfolk, then in 2026 we're going to be picking a whole new council and a whole new not whole new, minus two people, but we'll be getting another council, getting another school board. And if we're looking at the big picture of what kind of mess might be coming down from the state level, I mean, from the federal level, what kind of mess might be coming down from the federal level? I mean, I'm so backwards. What kind of mess might be coming down from the federal level? What kind of mess will be coming down from the state level? And how we want them to be able to respond at the local level, right? Like that's that ish. So I'm with y'all. I'm with you. I'm with y'all. Like I'm trying to pay attention to who trying to get on the ballot. Who trying to do the thing with the thing. I will be releasing my legislative agenda. I want to thank everybody who provided feedback, who came to summer school for certified doers, who emailed the office and did everything. Thank you. About legislation. I think we have maybe 2 or 3 things that came straight from citizens on our agenda. We're going to be doing some cool things with creative economy. Yes, y'all. If you are creative, please, oh please, or if you know, like creativity spans the globe. Let us know, because we're going to have creatives on the Capitol January 28th, whatever that Tuesday is, that last Tuesday in January. I believe it's like the same week as the Grammys or something. We'll be having creatives on the Capitol. I want you to be able to join. If you are a person that are into vehicle autonomy, we are going to be doing some legislation on autonomous vehicles. I'm actually going to run the list for y'all as a sneak peek. So a lot of people don't listen to this whole thing, but you do. So let's get it. So you'll know what I got. So I'm looking to expand how we do economic development for the creative economy. I've got a bill that is going to stop the state from taking survivor benefits from uh, foster children. So right now, if a child's parent dies in the military and and then they end up in foster care, the state can apply for their survivor benefits and use those survivor benefits. And that doesn't happen with any other child or SSDI or Social Security benefits. I just think that if it's benefit because of a death, that we should be taking that money and putting it in a trust for that child. Because what happens when children come out of foster care? I'm not talking about Social Security; that's a whole nother thing. But I don't think that a child who has a parent die and has benefits because of that death, um, even if it's a percentage of it that goes to the state to care for the child, I just also have a problem with that because if any other child goes has that issue, they don't apply for those benefits. They don't. Not a weird thing, but it's a thing that I'm working on survivor benefits for foster care children, because if they got stuff, they need to come out with it. I'll be doing some a minor social media influencers, so parents that are forcing their kids to work via social media, just making sure that there's a trust or something established for those children, a small regulation. We've seen it. I don't know if y'all paid attention to the stories across the country of parents that are getting locked up for abuse, child abuse, for the way they're making their kids work on social media. It's a thing. It's a thing, I assure you. So that we'll be working on a right to repair bill, right? So stopping these companies from being like, if you could go get the part, I mean, like nowadays, a lot of people can fix their own screen, but you still have companies that are like, no, we're gonna make it super difficult because you're gonna pay $300 for a $50 part to get repaired. It's they wildin'. That goes for not only like cell phones, that goes for like tractors, small independent car dealerships have that issue too, where the big company will be like, no, you can't, you have to pay this extra for this software to be able to even read or fix something that's it could be I'm exaggerating, but it could be like, this bolt needs to be changed and a code gets thrown and the small dealership can't do it because it won't let them read with a regular OED reader. So like we're just trying to get people access to repair the things that they can certainly repair for themselves. I'm hopeful we'll be able to bring forth legislation about the Elvis Act, I mean, protecting voice. I'm sort of going to have this conversation, hopefully, in the near future about how we do name likeness, but also voice now with the advent of AI. So think about it this way: if Drake had have made that Tupac, that AI voice here, and he had a petition here in Virginia, he would have no standing because voice isn't protected in that way in Virginia. So that's a bill that we're doing. Y'all getting the sneak peek. So I'm gonna roll through and then we're gonna beat feet, right? I'm doing some licensing for self-driving cars here. So that's one thing. We definitely are coming back to the bill on making sure that folks can't lie to juveniles in interrogation practices. I just think it's an injustice. We don't want to do that. That's a bill that we're putting in. And see a bunch of creatives jumped on. So I'm telling y'all creatives on the Capitol, again, we'll be doing that January if you're in a creative industry, because we've got a couple pieces of legislation that we're bringing forth to advance creative. And put a pin in this, because I went to, like I said, for those of y'all just hopped on, I'm out of town today, so it's a little off. I'm out or behind. But I went to a session yesterday that talked about improving your state's economy through international trade. I want to put a pin in that, especially for y'all that are in creative industries, and tell you how creative culture, tourism, and came a part of that international trade conversation. It was so dope that I was like, man, I wish I had this recorded because cities need to know. We're working on a dynamic benefits calculator. So not punishing people for if they make $1 over the qualified amount for a subsidy or a benefit, that they don't just lose that completely, because happening is people cannot take that raise. They cannot start a new job or take more hours, because if they make more money, they lose their benefits. So we're trying to get a calculator that slowly weans people off those benefits so that they have economic mobility. Like that would be a lovely, like, right? Like I want to keep making more because I want to at some point not need this. But you, as soon as I don't need it, you take it away, and then that's helping me advance myself. So yeah, we're working on that. We're going to we have a bill prohibiting algorithmic anti-competitive practices. So people are using algorithms. I don't know if y'all saw this story, to regulate rent, right? So there are landlords. There's got to be property owners that are in cahoots of figuring out how much who's paying here, and they are artificially adjusting rent prices and it does not create competition. It gives them control. So we are saying that we're not going to be using AI or algorithms we're not going to be using algorithms to manipulate rent. Then I've got some, like I said, the teacher compact. Still working on some stuff on being able to allow state employees to innovate. So that's not my entire list, but I don't want to keep drumming your ear off. Hey, Miss Lisa, how are you this morning? Good morning. It's good to see you, or good to see you. So let me say this before I get out. Unless there's any other questions, there's some other things. Some of the things are in limbo, and I don't want to say it if I'm not going to do it. And then you'd be like, you said that you was going to do this, and you're not. I'm working on it. All right, we getting it together. This year was a little wonky. I had a interesting summer. But if you don't have any questions, I'm going to talk just a little bit about the session I went to yesterday, and then I'm going to say bye so y'all can go have y'all day. So yesterday, and I'm opening up my, again, if you got any questions, comments, or if you have any events that you got going on, drop it in the comments too, because that's also important so that we share with everybody. Yesterday, I went to a panel, a discussion about how to use international trade as a means to improve your state's economy. And what was interesting is in being in that, I don't know a lot about international trade, right? I don't. But with all the things that are being talked about at the federal level about tariffs, and I'm just like, at some point, like I probably need to understand this a little bit better so that I can articulate it to you all, so we can have an understanding of how that's going to affect Virginia's economy, how that's going to affect your pocketbook. I'm learning right now. I'm in hyper learning mode. So I am going to reach out to the Virginia Trade Office to learn a little bit more. And I'm like super interested in how many businesses in Norfolk specifically are internationally traded. What I did learn about Virginia itself, y'all, and these are the things that what are we exporting? Right? How are we helping companies scale to where they are international, but they are here doing a service? We export a lot of stuff. Virginia is the largest exporter Virginia's largest export, honestly, is coal, and its largest import is, I believe, petroleum. But we do like metals industry, fossil fuels. We export soybeans, animal products, tobacco, wood products, beer, electronic products, chemicals, transportation equipment, machinery, food, kindred projects. And Virginia is actually a top 10 exporter of what they call like the service sectors, right? So that's computer software, credit related services, ocean freight, port services, cloud and data stuff. Like, so those are like services, but we import, meaning we take on products from a lot of different countries. Y'all know China is one of them, because everything say made in China. That's a whole nother thing that I think we need to talk about. Canada, Mexico, Germany, Malaysia, India, so like even Vatican City. So what I did learn is there's something to connecting to our local partners and our local universities as we try to bring more international companies to the area, but also exports. They talked about how when a company that, what did they say, only 80, what was the number? Come on, it was only 98% of small businesses, 98% of small businesses do not export. That means the majority of the businesses that we have here are not folks that are sending stuff across seas. But sometimes small businesses could have that reach. And so we're only talking about 12% of businesses that are already pushing stuff across seas. But like, how do we help small businesses that have really amazing products thrive, survive, and also become an international product? So I'm excited about getting with our local folks on that. I'm excited about getting with the Virginia Trade Office on learning about foreign direct investments and how to make trade a part of the agenda, as it's a big deal. Companies that are internationally traded, if they're based out of, like, say it's a Virginia company based, if it's a company based out of Virginia, their wages are typically 16% higher than companies that are not internationally traded. And I'm saying that like as like scarf. Like, I'm saying there's so much there. But we've got to have the things that help it happen. So rail, the port, uh, critical infrastructure to be able to help people that want to do that. And work with partners. Here's what I learned though. A guy asked a very interesting question. He was like, "So when you have other countries trades coming here, and you're trying to say why we are the best place for them, or why we need to make that connection to them, it is." He said, he's like, "How are you doing that? How do you sell that? How do you what is the thing?" And this man who runs the Louisiana Economic Development, as well as the man who runs the World Trade Center for Louisiana, said it is our culture. When people think of Nolans, they automatically see, feel, and hear our culture. So we don't necessarily have to sell that. The biggest issue that they have to sell, or that they find, is, around the world, what people think when they hear New Orleans is what? Y'all drop it in the comments. What you think? As soon as you hear New Orleans, what do you think? Drop it in the comments. See if what comes to mind. That is their biggest knock. And I'm gonna wait for a second. But he talked about how if you have an identity, if you're hold on, I'm looking. What did he say? He said, share your identity. You said Creole. Yeah. Okay, yes, right. That's a part of he said food, culture, but jazz. I love it. Y'all are saying jazz, food, bourbon. Come through, right? Like, New Orleans has an identity, Mardi Gras. But the biggest thing I see, Lisa said Mardi Gras. Let me put this up here because she's over here. Mardi Gras. And then Taekwon said jazz, food, booze, LOL. So Unique said Creole. Oh, thank you. I'm glad it's good information. I want small businesses to grow like yours. I love what you do. Y'all need to know how to sew. Go ahead, sew you a dress. Y'all need to sew Unique. So SEWUNIK_. Yes, she's dope. So Bourbon Street, yes, all these things. But the biggest thing that they have to contest with, the biggest thing that they said they have to contest with, is the fact that Katrina happened, and that was 20 years ago. Okay, that was 20 years ago. So they say, well, we introduce ourselves. We already have a very unique identity. And then we say, yes, Katrina did happen, but it will never happen again. Here's why. Here's what we've done. So, like, once they hit that barrier, they're attractive already, right? It's like taking Virginia. Okay, let's put her in a nice, I was going to say nice dress, but I don't know, put her in something where people are like, oh, she bad. I know Virginia, she bad because of this, and this, right? And then say, yeah, bring your business here, right? And then asking that international partner, what are the things that you want to get? What is important to your company? But the fact that we have struggled, specifically in the Hampton Roads, 757, however you call it, we've struggled to identify what our identity is, even for Virginia as a whole. The Virginia for Lovers brand is a brand, but what does that tell other people about Virginia? I initially, when I saw Virginia for Lovers, I was like, oh, that's nice. I thought romance. I have since, transitioned that as I've become a Virginian. I was like, yo, we're not here to, yeah, it's all love. I feel like Kendrick. Everything with me is blessed. Like that's kind of the Virginia vibe. But culturally, what's our cultural significance? And so as we help small businesses grow, I think even as I look at where I'm from, right, where I call my hometown Norfolk, it's like, what is the identity that makes people say, yo, I gotta go to Norfolk because I wanna do X, Y, or Z. And then that presents them on opportunities to help that 98% of small businesses that are not internationally traded. And I'd sound like y'all want to go to Mardi Gras. Mr. Yolanda, I see. Sound like y'all want to go to Mardi Gras. All right. So I look at that as I took that as a directive that our creative economy is a hook for international trade. And I say hook because he said it. He's like, you got to get something that's like, yeah, we know, like that is what I want to get into. So yes, I see the creative economy as a hook. And that's the way I'm all, we over here trying to not just sell the heart of things. We're trying to sell the finance, the mind of things. And so we're not going to speak about none of this stuff unless it has something to do with economically driving us some way, some shape, some form. So what is Virginia's hook? And I charge it to y'all who have lived here your whole lives or who have come here because you wanted to come or whatever. Because again, in full disclosure, I came here kicking and screaming. I was like, I do not want to go I do not want to go Virginia, but I'm so glad I'm here. I'm grateful. My husband was right. Tell him I said it out loud. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at. What is Virginia's hook? And I think that's a question we all have to ask ourselves. And I'm looking at it at state level, but in my heart too, I'm also looking at Hampton Roads, asking that same question. What is the hook? And I charge y'all to think about it, to think about what the hook is here. But yes, so that's what I've been doing. That's what I'm here at the Council of State Governments. That's what it is, the Council of State Governments Conference. I'll be speaking on Saturday about the compacts that we talked about earlier. And I've tried to curate a hey Marquis, no, I was late because I'm an hour behind. But what I will do is what I have done, excuse me, is try to curate my days for information that I can bring back to you all that'll feel good, that'll be helpful in some kind of way, because we're learning together. So if ever you feel like there's something that Jackie, do not hesitate to send articles to my office. I'm gonna shout out God, what is her name? Her name is failing me. It's a woman. She always sends articles to my office. So Del J Glass, Del DEL, Delegate J for Jackie Glass at house.virginia.gov. If you find an article, you found something that you think we need to be reading, send it to the office. Lori, is that her? Come on, my brain is, but she sends me articles all the time. My neighbor, he used to take the newspaper, highlight the stuff he think I needed to be reading and put it on my gate. I don't know all the things, and I don't know what's all the things that are important to all the people, but if my nose gets pointed in a direction, I will certainly try to do my best to educate myself. But I'm going to lean in and say, I'm going to use this experience to help us. I want you to use your experience to help me do this job better. So yeah, send the article our way or whatever it is. Just say, hey, did you know? And I'll be like, nah, I ain't even know. Thank you. Right? Okay. Sound good? Can we do that for each other, doers? Because doers get more done. Again, don't sue me. Don't sue me. What did Home Depot? Couldn't even get that up. But yes, so that's what I'm up to. I definitely will try to keep y'all abreast of what we're learning and what we're doing. And so I just had an idea though, and I'm talking, if she's still here, so unique, I just had an idea. I'm going to have to reach out to you because I'm trying to also do fundraisers that are different and I want to do a, maybe we need to do a, y'all, maybe who would do a sewing class with me as a fundraiser? I think that would be dope. Like you come, you know, have an experience. I want to do experiential contributions. That would be fun. I'm gonna have to. She's still on here. I'm gonna have to reach out to So Unique and, yeah, that would be dope. Anyway, sorry, I just had that, right? Creative juices are just flowing, right? What's our hook? Until next time, I'm Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy vet. Let me make sure ain't no questions before I hang off here because that happened to me before. Oh my God, it was. Oh, she says I'm here. Oh, I'm already gonna email you. LOL, I love it. Beth Heiser 47 said, I've always want, I know a lot of people that always want to sew. Let me tell you something. My grandma, rest her soul, she passed away 2 years ago. My grandmother used to force us to sew our own baby doll clothes. This is all we did. We watched the 10 Commandments, we read the Bible, we sewed baby doll clothes, we cleaned up. That's what we did at grandma's house. Grandma's hands, okay? Used to wake me up every morning. But yes, Queen Rising said, my daughter wants to learn to sew. My mother is a seamstress. Okay, Queen Rising, you got to go to, if you see in the chat, you got to go to So Unique's page because she does, she also has like during the school year, these like sewing academy for like teens almost like, and she's taken them on trips and she's done a whole lot of different things. So it's not, I think it's not a matter of like wanting, it's finding the time, especially when you're trying to teach your kid, right? And a lot of us have gone away from the, at least I don't have like core family with me. You know, my mom is here now, but like having what I learned, how I learned was from my grandma, right? My mama working, my daddy working, my grandma is the one who provided me with that skill. And I love it. We had to sew our socks. We had to sew our socks. We sewed, and I don't know about if y'all are, you know, I'm 40. But we would have, my grandmother would have us turn our jeans inside out, and we would sew or iron on patches to, if we had a hole in our jeans before that was a thing, you know. So it is a much needed skill. I think that funny, Queen Rising said, I can cut a pattern and I can hit him. That's right. I mean, but that's something, right? That's something. And so I think it's a beautiful thing when we have community members that have small businesses that not only fill their cup, but also teach a skill, right? And it is a community building thing. My daughter went to a class a long time ago and she made a beautiful pillow. And it was really, I was like, and she could flip it in. I was like, come through, sis. So yeah, get that skill. Let's do it. I want to make a look. I was like, at my heart, I think I was meant to do fashion, but that's not where I'm at. My mind is not there. So yes. So if you guys get a chance, I'm actually going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a solid for us. And I'm going to put her information in both chats, because for those of you guys who are on Facebook, you probably can't see her information. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then if you're on Instagram, she is So Unique, but Unique is spelled UNIK_. Just put, and you follow her on the gram. And I'm gonna put her studio. I'm gonna post that in there. Hold on, if it'll let me. I got this little thing saying in my way. Right. Yeah, dude, yeah, go follow her now. So hold on over here. And there you go. I put it in over here. So yeah, anyway, but that's how we build our community. We support our neighbors that are trying to improve our quality of lives, that are trying to be a part of our village. I think that is one of those things, right? So make her in your village. Go ahead and send your daughter, send your son. I had my son sewing when he was little. He loved it. He loved it. You hear me? Making his own stuff. Right? Some of the best fashion designers are men, women, all kinds of people. Like, fashion isn't just for the ladies, it's for everyone. So, and I just found out we don't have a female tailor. Who is making women's suits around here? That's what I want a suit. I want to get me a suit. I love it, Miss Yolanda. Miss Yolanda said, darn socks, patches, home economics should be a part of seventh grade again. Yes. So here's the thing, y'all. Like, yes. Okay, yes. I'm going off and I'm already way over time. But I did home economics. I also did wood shop. You know what I'm saying? I also did wood shop in sixth grade, seventh grade, I did home economics, and eighth grade, I did wood shop. Loved it. Loved it. Cooked them eggs, right? Made them crepes and sewed that pillow. All right. Okay. So anyway, so next time, again, I'm Jackie Glass, mama, Navy vet, certified doer, the laced up legislative House of Delegates, 93rd District. So honored to serve. I will catch y'all on the flip side. I do not believe we have anything going on this weekend. If you like what we do, you like how we do it, as always, the reason why I'm able to show up the way I am is because I keep a really amazing staff. So consider going to delegatejackieglass.com and making a contribution. Put me in your 2025 budget, right? Put us in your budget for $25 a month for 2025. Like, that makes a huge difference. I have a great staff that keeps me in check, keeps my head above water, and serves our district and the Commonwealth of Virginia very well. Ooh, Marquis, I don't even know what plastics is. She said, "See, you sidetracking me. I got to get out of here." I did plastics in high school. I'm interested to know what that is. Never heard it. Never heard it. All right. So, au revoir. Go do good things. Do great. Be great. All right. Do great. Be great. All right. See y'all. See your neighbors. Bye, y'all. I won't be at the breakfast. My team will be at the breakfast. I won't be at the Democratic. I'm still being in New Orleans. Take care. Bye. Make it a great one.